What's a piece of advice you've received that seemed strange but turned out to be insightful? Never trust someone who's nice to you but rude to the waiter. My grandma told me this when I was 16, and I thought she was just being cynical. But years later, this advice saved me from marrying the wrong person. I met Nathan through a mutual friend at a coffee shop. He was charming, successful, and seemed perfect. Within 6 months, we were living together, and by our 1-year anniversary, we were engaged. My family loved him, especially since he always brought expensive gifts and knew exactly what to say. But something felt off. I couldn't pinpoint it until one night at dinner. Our waiter accidentally spilled water on our table, barely missing Nathan's sleeve. Nathan's face changed completely. He demanded to see the manager, called the waiter incompetent, and threatened to get him fired. I was shocked, but Nathan said he was just standing up for our dining experience. After that, I started noticing things. How he'd snap at baristas who got his order wrong. How he'd mock the cleaning lady in our building behind her back. How he'd talk down to my best friend Anne because she worked as a cashier while studying for her degree. The final straw came during our engagement party. Nathan hired a young photographer, Olivia, who was just starting her business. Throughout the night, I caught him making snide remarks about her equipment, calling it amateur hour when he thought no one could hear. Later, when Olivia asked for our dinner preference, Nathan exploded. He called her unprofessional and demanded a refund, saying her photos would probably be garbage anyway. Olivia started crying, packing her things to leave. That's when I remembered my grandma's words. I looked at Nathan and suddenly saw him clearly. The expensive gifts, the charm, the perfect words, it was all a show. The real Nathan was the one who made service workers cry, who felt big by making others feel small. I told Olivia to stay, handed her an extra $200, and took off my engagement ring. I placed it on the table in front of Nathan and said, "The photo shoot's still on, but now it's just going to be my family celebrating that I didn't marry someone who thinks it's okay to treat people like dirt." Nathan tried to play it off, saying I was overreacting. He even started crying, claiming he was just stressed about wanting everything to be perfect. But then our waitress came to clear the table, and even with tears in his eyes, he snapped at her for interrupting his private moment. My brother, who had been watching everything, stepped in when Nathan started making a scene. As security escorted Nathan out, he kept shouting that I was making the biggest mistake of my life, that I'd never find someone who could give me the lifestyle he could. The next day, I found out he'd been lying about his job. He wasn't a corporate executive. He was an entry-level sales rep who maxed out credit cards to keep up his image. The designer suits, the expensive gifts, the fancy car, it was all funded by debt. 3 months later, Olivia reached out. She was photographing another wedding and wanted to show me something. It was a photo from our engagement party, taken right after I gave the ring back. In the background, you could see Nathan yelling at the waitress while pretending to cry.